Good afternoon, this is Nicholas from Gandora Gaming, and I bring you guys my red-purple Useless Captain Kidd deck profile. Now, a lot of people have been sleeping on this leader. I think this leader is actually pretty insane, all things considering. Let's actually go over what he does and why people are sleeping on him. So, the reason why they're sleeping on this leader is because his first line attacks. When you have 4 or more life, give this character minus 1,000 power during your turn. Now, the reason why that sucks is because, well, you are a 5 life leader. So there you have to get hit twice in order for you to start activating your effect. But that's actually not a big deal. The reason why it's not a big deal is because you are a red-purple leader with 5 life. That is huge. The fact you are a split color leader that can attack and has 5 life is absolutely insane. And also the fact that you have the ability when attacking -1 Dom. This leader gains 2,000 power during his turn is also really insane. Just for the simple fact that he can boost himself up to 7k once he has basically his full power. Now, before that, if you don't have your full power, you can still boost them up, but you'll just be at 6,000 instead of a 5,000, which is still pretty insane. For a -1 Dawn effect, that is absolutely really incredible. And he is a very aggressive leader. The fact that we have both purple and red makes his deck extremely aggressive and extremely good. So let's actually get straight into the deck profile itself. So first things first, we're playing 2 10-drop Monkey D. Luffy's. Monkey D. Luffy is just one of the best rush cards in the game. I don't know why people are sleeping on this card. The fact that this card it has rush for a 10k. The fact that when this card is blocked or any monster you control is blocked while he's on the field, he destroys an 8k on field, which is stacks, by the way. So if you have 2 of these on field and your opponent blocks, they'll both trigger and kill 2 8k or less characters on field, which is absolutely insane. So these cards are absolutely incredible and people are sleeping on them. Speaking of cards that are not slept on, 2 Kaido. We are a red-purple leader. We should be playing Kaido. This guy is a rush master himself. Simple fact that this guy, if you -5 Dawn, kills a character with 6,000 or less power and gains rush is absolutely insane. And we have cards that recuperate our Dawn back, so it's not that big of a deal. Just the fact that he's a 9k rush that blows up a 6k is just absolutely insane. Next, for our non-counter cards, we also have 2 Captain Useless Kidd. Now, this is a little controversial. For the longest time, I was playing this guy as a 4 of a deck because it is a Captain Useless Kidd deck. But I feel like he was just a little too bricky at 4. Simple fact, he doesn't have a counter on him. And it's simple fact that because he's a 7 cost, there's a lot of ways to actually remove him in the meta. There's a lot of ways to lower his cost down to 4 and then like Borsalino him out of the game. Or you just Red Rock him, or just the multitude of other ways other players have been getting around this guy. 9-drop Mihawk bottom decks this guy. There's a lot of ways to get around the Captain Useless Kidd, and I think he's still absolutely insane, but I just feel like you don't need to be playing 4 copies of him. I think all our high cost cards are insane cards, but the fact that you don't have a counter makes them weaker, thus we gotta be careful. But Captain Useless Kidd is absolutely insane for this deck, and the reason why is because basically on play or when attacking, you -1 Dawn, and then your leader gains 1,000 power until the end of the next turn. So it basically turns your Captain Kidd into a 6k, not using his ability, but if you do use his ability, he'll become an 8k without using really any Dawn. So that's absolutely pretty incredible. For our final big guys, technically, we're playing 2 Monkey D. Luffy non-counter rush. This guy's absolutely insane for the simple fact that you put 2 Dawn on him, your opponent can activate blockers, which is really, really strong. And he's just a really good card in general. Again, we'd probably be playing more of him, but he doesn't have a counter. Thus, I feel like 2-2-2-2 is just perfect. Now let's talk about the Captain Useless Kidd cards that do have counter. We are playing 4, my apologies. I said 5 because he's a 5-drop. 4 Captain Useless Kidd. This guy is absolutely insane. If you're playing any purple deck, you should be trying to get him. He's basically Queen for the simple fact that when a Dawn is returned to the Dawn deck, he just adds a Dawn from the Dawn deck instead of his active. So basically says, hey, use a rest Dawn cheated out as an open Dawn now. So you get an extra Dawn a turn, basically, which is just really, really incredible. And he's a blocker with 6,000 attack, 5 cost. Really, really great card. Even has 1,000 counter. So worst comes to worst, you can always discard him. Great card. There's a reason why he is just still really just insane. Next play is for Beppo. Beppo is usually not played in a lot of purple decks. I can understand the reasons why. If you're not playing exactly Law, there's no way to really search out Beppo. Not to mention, Beppo requires your opponent to have more Dawn in you for him to work. But this deck minuses so much Dawn with the leader's ability and the other characters that we're playing that it's very easy to recuperate the Dawn with this guy. And Beppo is a house. So on play or when attacking, if your opponent has more Dawn than you, you get to add 1 Dawn for your Dawn deck as rested, which is really, really insane. This is our ramp up mechanic in this deck. We can't ramp up like normal purple decks do where they ramp and they just get more Dawn quickly. We go by the normal basis of we only get 2 Dawn a turn, but the Beppos and the Captain Uses Kids help us recuperate the Dawn that we use, which is very important. Next, let's talk about the cards that help spend Dawn. We have 2 Kamazo. Kamazo is actually really, really cool. Basically, on KO, you -1 Dawn. KO the opponent's character with 5 or less cost. This was actually, I was playing King for a while because King is a 6k 7-drop, but he has no counter, and a lot of cards can remove 6-cost cards. And at least if this guy is killed, he KOs a card, which is kind of cool. So I sacrificed 2,000 power for a counter, and he's 4 or less cost. So I felt like he was just really, really good. Not to mention he is also searchable with our killer card because he is not killer. He is Kamazo, even though it's technically the same character. So he's overall still a good card. Next, we are playing for Ronor Zoro. This is a rush down deck. I feel like we should be playing rush down cards. We have, of course, the 2 Monkey D. Luffy's, the 2 Kaidos, the 2 other Monkey D. Luffy's, and now we have the 4 Zoros. Zoro's always going to be played in a rush down strategy. He's probably one of the best rush down cards in the game. And what else is to say? 3 costs, 5,000, has rush. The only way he'll be better is he had 1,000 counter. Next, we play 4 Heat. Heat is just amazing. For 1, it's a killer pirate, so it's very searchable. 2, it's a 3 cost, 1,000 counter that basically says, hey, when you activate your leader's ability or activate any ability that returns Dawn, he becomes a 6k, which is absolutely insane. And he stays a 6k until the end of the next turn, meaning your opponent will have to deal with a 6k and not a 4k monster, which is really, really good. The next card we are playing is for Wire. Wire is actually a slept-on blocker. He is a 3 cost, 3,000, so it is a little bit of a lot of Dawn to play him. But basically what he says is that, hey, once returned, when a Dawn is returned from the Dawn deck to the hand, basically you get to draw 1, trash 1. So he basically does the Sakazuki effect where you trash 1 from hand, draw 1 from hand, which is really, really good. And he's during either player's turn when Dawn is returned to the Dawn deck, so which is really, really solid. So if you activate cards that return Dawn during your opponent's turn, then this will trigger, and also it will trigger if you activate cards that return Dawn on your turn, which obviously we're playing a lot of that. Next, we're playing 4 Killer. Killer is absolutely insane. There's 20 search targets in the deck for Killer. He basically looks at the top 5, and he adds basically a Kid Pirates card other than himself to the hand. Luckily, none of the monsters we play are Killer himself, so he can search whatever you want. You can't search the Straw Hats or the Heart Pirate cards, sadly, but he can search the other Kid Pirates, which, again, I counted, there's 20 cards in the deck. In a 50-card deck, I think that's pretty good. I feel like the ratios are pretty solid. Now, a card that really gets a lot of searching on is your this spell card right here. When you're at sea, you fight against pirates. Now, this card is absolutely insane. Simple fact, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Reveal 1 Straw Hat, Kid Pirate, or Heart Pirate from your top of your deck to hand, and then rest the bottom in any order. Also has a trigger to activate this card in main phase. This card's absolutely insane for the simple fact that it searches anything in your deck besides the Kaido, and that's absolutely incredible. This card is really, really good. It is a searcher. I wish it was a body, but hey, what can you do? It's just a really, really good card in general. Next, if you haven't noticed, we haven't actually had any like 2k counters in this deck. I feel like there are decent 2K counters like the Sanjis and like the Brooks and the Jinbeis of the world, but I decided to go for more of an event style of build where I'm playing for Bad Manners Kick Course. This card's interesting for the simple fact that basically you can trash this card and another card from hand and give it 3,000 power. So the idea is that you can use your non-counter cards, trashing them from hand to give 3,000 power. So this is basically our, what's it called, our counter card, our 2 cost, because 2 cards to make it a 3K, basically. And then finally, we are also playing 4 Radical Beams. Radical Beams is just essential to most red decks. It's a Straw Hat card, so we can search it. And basically, if your life is at 1 or less, hey, well, actually 2 or less, my apologies, hey, you gain 4,000 power instead of 2,000 power, which is really, really good. Also, it also has a trigger effect where a leader or a character gains 1,000 power to the end of the turn, which is also really good. Our final card, the reason why we are playing the Kid Pirates is Punk Rotten. Punk Rotten is just a really, really good card. Basically, you -1 Dawn, and up to one of your Kid Pirate leaders or characters gain 5,000 power. That's really insane. You don't have to give it to your leader. You can give it to the 7-drop kid or the 5-drop kid and just boost them really, really crazy. The simple fact that this 1 Dawn, which is only, it requires 2 Dawn, but you return 1 back. But just the cost of 2 Dawn, you can make any of your Kid Pirates gigantic. It's just really, really insane and just a great card in general. So that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoy. I'm still messing up with the ratios. I feel like once set 6 comes out and we get more Kid Pirate cards, the deck is going to be more streamlined. I know we're getting another 2 counter Chromazone. So hopefully that'll make the deck more ability to protect itself more. We don't have to play these as much, but I still like them. You all tell me in the comments what you think, and hope you all enjoy. Go something stupid. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.